Hi guys, in this video I'll be talking about Amazon RDS, Relational Database Services. In this lecture we will see what is Relational Database Services, what are its pricing, how many commercial engines it supports, and what are the basic features of it. So if you log on to our AWS account and go to RDS section, we'll land onto this page. So basically RDS is a multi-engine commercial database services which is completely managed by AWS. And if we look at the supported engines, we have MySQL, PostgreSQL, MariaDB, Oracle, and SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server. So overall it supports lots of commercially available database engines, and it provides a cost-efficient and scalable relational database service wherein you can create read replicas and even read replicas of the read replicas to make sure that your application is read efficient, and you can actually scale them onto multiple availability zone across the globe. So in that way, this particular service is a revolutionary in nature, because you just have to take care of your code part or your application part. The rest of the administrative task will be taken care by Amazon Web Services. Now if you look at the benefits, what Amazon says is it's easy to administer, because Amazon RDS is completely managed service managed by AWS. Then it is highly available. You can make it make redundant copies in different availability zone. You can also make them replicate as per your need. It is secure because it is highly integrable with the Amazon VPC and IAM services, so you can actually integrate them with your custom LDAPs or your enterprise LDAP. You can also provide security with respect to virtual private cloud framework, wherein you can define the policies and who all can use this database, who all cannot, and you can put the firewalls around it. Not only that, you can also see how highly scalable it is, because as I mentioned, it is scalable up to 100 terabytes, and you can spin up as many instances as you want. And of course you can create lots of read replicas with near time read capabilities. You have built-in API calls and command line interfaces through which you can develop your applications with no time. So spinning up a database of any commercial distribution is very super fast, very fast, and of course it is not very expensive. So if we go and look at the pricing model, so here I've just opened the Oracle pricing model for Amazon RDS service. So you can see if you just have to spin up a free version or just a T2 micro instance for Oracle, it will just cost you $0.038 per hour, which is not even a dollar for a day. So that way it is very cheap. And this is for the single instance availability zone. Then we have a multi availability zone, and this is the enterprise edition, and there are lots of options which are available, and you can make use of them as per your need. There are lots of options. Definitely you have lots of instance types available for for the Oracle as well as for the other engines. Like here you can see memory optimized instance for the current generation, and it will be ranging from $1 an hour to almost $8.5 an hour. So it is completely up to us. What is our use case? What do we want to achieve? How much is our budget? So on and so forth. So if we go back and see the other price options, like let's say for MySQL pricing. I'm just giving you an example. You can always get all these information, the latest information on Amazon website. So see, for the T2 micro instance, it is as low as 2.4 cents per hour, which is not even a dollar a day. Like it will be somewhere around 72 cents a day. So this is incredibly cheap and reliable and secure. Of course, you can scale up to whatever strength you want to. I will go and I will show you how it can be scaled. Let's say here another options which are available for Amazon RDS is you can directly create a database, or you can actually import a database using Amazon services. Like here you can restore a database from S3. So let's say you have an image of a database which you have kept it on S3. You can directly restore it from there, or you can use database migration services through which you can actually import data from an external database. I have already created a video for it. Now getting on to Amazon RDS, we'll first go and see how to create a database. So let's see, if you click on this create database, and then you have to select an engine. So I will just go and give you a demo for free tier. So I will just check here, only enable options eligible for RDS free tier usage. So free tier will not incur any billing for me. So I've just selected MariaDB. I can use MySQL, Amazon Aurora, but this is not eligible for free tier. Amazon Aurora is a in-house relational database which is based on MySQL from Amazon. They completely manage it, and it is not eligible for free tier. However, MariaDB is. So if we go ahead, and Oracle is also eligible for free tier. SQL is also, PostgreSQL also. So I'll just go ahead and launch a MariaDB instance, and I will click next, and then I will have to specify the details. Now I'm going to use the general public license because in the latest version you can see the Amazon RDS free tier provides a single DB T2 micro instance as well. So it will provide you 20 GB of storage, allowing new AWS customers. So it is all there in the documentation as well. So for free tier it is T2 micro instance with 1 core CPU and 1 GB of RAM. Then I will simply go ahead, select the defaults, and just my test MariaDB, and this I am going to put it in running case. So let's say my master username is root, and then I'll put a password. Then I'll hit on next. Okay, the password doesn't match. Now it matches. So configure advanced settings. I'm using the default VPC which I already have in my Amazon account, and subnet I'm going to use default. I'm not creating any subnet. I'm going to access it from my local PC, so I'm going to give it a public accessibility. In case if you don't want it, you have an option. I'm not putting any constraint on the availability zone. So I'm in Mumbai region. I have 2 availability zones, South AP South 1A and 1B. I'm just going to select no preference at all. I'm not going to create any specific security group because I'm going to use the default one which I have. In case if you want to specify your security group, like let's say if you want your RDS instance to have SSH enabled or HTTPS enabled or so on and so forth, you can create your custom VPC security group, but here I'm not doing so, just doing it for custom demo purposes. So it is going to be very simple and easy. So I'm going to write the database name as test RDS. Port is going to be the same, and DB parameters is going to be the same, default groups, and everything is going to be default. Backup I'm not going to take. Monitor enable, I'm not going to enable monitoring because it is going to incur me a cost, so I'm just disabling the enhanced monitoring. If you want, you can go ahead and include CloudTrail and all those things, CloudWatch as well. So for CloudWatch is for audit trials, and other cloud services are going to get enabled, and it will cost you money. So I'm just showing you the basic way of how to create a database on AWS cloud. So disable your auto mirror. It's all like if you want to upgrade or something like that, you will have to put that information here. Now deletion protection is something which if I have enabled, then before I delete it will give me a prompt. So here I'm just unchecking it, because even if I check it, it doesn't make any difference, but I'm unchecking it because right after the demonstration I'm going to delete it. So I don't want that, don't want to execute one more step while deleting the database instance. So I'm just unchecking it. So now my database is getting created here. So I'll move to the console, and here you will see the database will get created. It will give me an endpoint once it gets created. So it will take a little bit of time, maybe a minute or so, and I will get a up and running RDS of MariaDB for me. So while I'm getting the instance up and ready, I will just show you how the instance options are available. So once the instance is available, you can either stop the instance, reboot it, create a read replica. As I mentioned, the read replica will allow you to have more reads. So these are the options which are very much important when you have an application which is more read intensive than write. So all you need to have is a read replicas, maybe read replicas over different regions, because you may be having customers or the users which are spread across the globe. So you can actually create your read replicas in different regions, and then you can replicate that data so that people are not having too much of latency while retrieving the data. So that you can do, you can actually promote read replica as a full-fledged database, because read replicas are not used for writing. So if you want, you can promote a read replica as a separate instance as well. You can take a snapshot, you can restore it from a point in time. So it is completely dependent on what you want from this particular database instance. Of course, it gives you too much of flexibility. It by default create 2 copies of it, and since you can see that if I just go back, my database instance is ready, and I am going to have an endpoint over here with the port number. So once I will have it, I will go and log on to this, and I will show you how to make changes, run the queries. So if you want, you can have your security group configured here. You can add replication here. So see, here we have instance DB, instance 1 south AP south 1B, and we have region and availability zone here. Engine is MariaDB, and performance insight we have you can actually go and look for the performance. There are lots of options that we have. So here also you can check. If I go to the resources, I'm allowed to have 20 instances. However, it's a soft limit. You can always go back and request Amazon to increase that limit. So this is how you click here and you get the limit increased. The reserve instances, I have the option limit of 20. I can take 27 snapshot, manual and automated. So these are the options. Recent events, these are some things which you can check. I have a default group. The custom I have left is 40. So these are the subgroups I have, like 1 I have used and 20 are remaining, supported platforms, VPC and default network. So all these things I have, I can make use of it, and I will simply show you like how. And see here one more option you can see, like restore Aurora database cluster from S3. So basically you can take a snapshot and put it in your S3, and then directly from S3 using the endpoint you can restore the database. I think my endpoint should be available. So let's see if I have my endpoints. Yes, I have my endpoint available. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my endpoint, and how I'm going to use it, I'll just show you. So basically I'm going to use one of the EC2 instance that I have, and I'm just going to use my EC2 instance. I already have it. So here I am logged on to one of the EC2 instance, and this is just for the demo purposes. So I'm just having one EC2 instance which I have used, and now I'm going to have my RDS instance connected for the command line. I'll simply use this SQL, which then I will see. So I have I can create another database. Create database. The name is test MariaDB, and now again if I go back, I have this MariaDB available with me. Now I will use this test Maria, and now I have already a small schema, so I'm going to use that. I'll just create a table here, and then if I just it says so I just made a mistake in the earlier statement, SQL statement. There I just used test. I have to use test mariadb.report, and then I will use this SQL here, and I will just run. So see here, a query got executed correctly, and now I'm going to have this data loaded. Now this data is nothing but a small report that I had, so I'm just loading it there. So I'll just add this and see. So if I test see, so we have all the data available in a very quick time. So this was one of the demo, like how you create your instance on AWS cloud, and then how you can upload the data. I mean, this is one of the ways of loading the data. If you already have a database up and running somewhere on premise, you can directly connect to the DMS service, and you can create an endpoint from there, attach it with the DMS replication instance, and then you can spin up a on cloud RDS instance, and the kind of endpoint that you have seen here, you can use that endpoint and use it as an output point of your DMS service, and then you can replicate the entire database on the cloud. So this could be one of the ways of making your database redundant and highly available, because cloud services are very much managed by the cloud company, here in this case AWS, and this is how you can spread your database over the various availability zone, making multiple read replicas and making it more fault tolerant. So hope this lecture helps you, and hope you find this lecture suitable for your technical needs. In case you like this video, please do share and subscribe to my channel, and if you want me to create more such videos, please suggest me the topic that you want to see. Thanks a lot.